My name is Jeanette Kawachi, and I am the Chief Partnership Officer at Habitat for Humanity of Greater Charlottesville. I want to personally welcome you and invite you to this applicant information video. And I also want to thank you for your interest in the Habitat Homeownership program. I hope this video provides you with a lot of helpful information about our program. But most of all, I hope that it inspires you to apply and to take that next step to achieving your hopes and your dreams. In this video, you're going to hear about a lot of things. You're going to learn about our application process. You're going to learn about our homeownership program and the details about how it works. And you're going to hear about our newest and most exciting program, Pathways to Housing.
My name is Larry Scott. I'm a proud Habitat homeowner since 2004. At first, I wasn't sure if this was something I wanted to do. In fact, I didn't want to do it. It was my wife's encouragement for me to apply. It was the best thing that I'd done for my family, not exactly for me. If it was just me, I'd be okay. But it gave my wife and my daughter stability, comfort, and security. It gave my daughter a chance to be a child, to grow up, to be happy, to play, to meet friends, and to make friends, not for just 2 weeks or 2 months, but during the journey of a time that she was at home. So I would suggest to anyone to take that chance, because you'll never know. Nothing is guaranteed, but everything is possible. And if it wasn't for me taking that chance, I still would be in a shelter or renting a home with my rent going up. Today, I can cut the grass while my wife doing the flower thing. We can have fun in the yard. We can do what we need to do, enjoy life, and be happy to pass something on.
Thank you guys for listening to the applicant information meeting today. First, I'm going to start off by dispelling some of the top myths about the Habitat Homeownership program. They're out there. If you've heard them, hopefully we can fix it. So one of the first ones that we hear all the time is that you need perfect credit to qualify for our program. That is not true. We don't even look at your credit score. And with our program, we will offer financial coaching for the folks that might need a little bit of help. So if that's you, don't worry, we got you. One of the second myth that we have out there is that Habitat gives away homes to poor people. We don't give away homes. The families that we work with actually work very, very hard to get the ability to purchase their home from us. Another myth that we have out there is that the homes are poorly constructed. We have to meet the same standards that any other builder in Charlottesville or Albemarle meets. And in a lot of circumstances, we exceed those standards. Our homes are super energy efficient, and that's not something that all of the builders in Charlottesville can say. Another myth that we've heard is that Habitat homes are only available for certain people. So whether that means people that have kids or people that come from a certain area, whatever that means, that is not true. We work with anybody and everybody who's interested in our program. It doesn't matter your faith, your color, where you come from, what you do. If you want to partner with us, we want to partner with you. Another myth that we've heard is that Habitat families are on welfare. That is not true. A lot of the families that we work with actually have at least one job, if not multiple jobs. Some families do receive welfare or government benefits, but that's not true. You work very hard in this program. One of the myths that we've heard is that Habitat will not approve anybody with a felony. That's not true. We conduct a background check on any applicant or co-applicant in the household, and if something comes up, it is the start of a conversation. And so if that's the reality for you, please don't be afraid, still apply. And then one of the big ones, one of the last ones, is that you have to be a US citizen to apply. And again, that's not true. Lots of untruths here. We're trying to unpack all of those myths. Our residency requirement is that you have to live or work in our service area for at least 12 months. So if you have lived or worked in Charlottesville, Albemarle, Greene, Louisa, or Buckingham, you've hit our residency requirement. So, as we're going through the application process, there are a few things that we are looking at or looking for. We're looking at your need for our program, so that can be your financial need for our program. It can also be your housing need for our program. We're going to look at your ability to repay a loan, because at the end of the day, you will repay a loan with Habitat. And then we're also looking at your willingness to partner. There's a lot of hard work that goes into this program, and so we're going to evaluate or look at your willingness to partner as you go through the application process. So let's talk about financial need. So with financial need, that's just looking at, do you have need for our program? With Habitat for Humanity, you need to be between 25 to 60% of the area median income to qualify. What that means, basically, it's just a number from the government. And on the chart there, you see that we have the maximum income, and it's based on your household size. So the numbers for a family of 1, they might be different. They are different than the numbers for a family of 2 or 7 or 9, whatever that looks like. We do not put the minimum on there because you might still qualify for our Pathways program. And we want to make sure that those people are still coming to us and that you're still applying, because it's a great program. Some other things to know about those numbers, they do change every year. So the numbers that we're using this year, they're not going to be the numbers that we use next year, and they won't be the numbers that we used 5 years ago. They're always changing. And it's your gross income, not your net income. So that's what you make before taxes are taken out. That's not what you can spend day to day.
All right, now we're going to talk about the types of income that we include. This isn't a full list of everything that we include, but it gives you an idea. The first one is income from your employment, and that can be income from your job, or that can be self-employment. Now with self-employment, you have a little bit of extra work to do. If you drive for Uber or Lyft, or you clean houses, or do hair on the side, you have a little bit of extra work, but we are here to help you with that. We're going to ask that you track your income and your expenses during the application process. If you are self-employed, please reach out to someone on the application team so they can make sure you have the required documents. And please note that if you are approved, you're going to have to continue to track your income and your expenses for your self-employment. We will also look at income from disability, retirement, pension, child support, alimony. Again, that's not everything we might look at, but it gives you an idea.
So now we're going to talk about housing need. So remember, that's part of the need that we look at as we are evaluating your application. These are in no particular order, but these are some of the things that we look at. Again, not all of the things, but some of the things that we look at as we're evaluating your housing need. So are you experiencing homelessness? Is your home in substandard condition? So maybe there are bats in the attic, or there are holes in the floor, or it's super drafty. Are you living in a home that's overcrowded? So perhaps it's a 2-bedroom apartment, but there are 10 people living in that home. That's pretty tight. Is it unaffordable for you? So are you paying more than 30% of your income towards your rent? Do you live in subsidized housing? So whether it's a CRHA property, or you receive a housing voucher or something like that. One of the other things could be, are there other barriers to you achieving safe, affordable housing? That could be a lot of things. So if you feel like that's something that you're experiencing, just let us know. We'll ask those questions. Another one that might be happening is that you're living in a high crime environment. So again, that's not all of the housing need, but that's some of it. So now we're going to talk about your ability to repay an affordable mortgage. Please remember that you don't have to have perfect credit for our program. We have financial coaches that will work with you as you go through this. But some of the things that we're looking at when we're evaluating your ability to repay is, do you make at least 25% of the area median income from for your household size? For your current debts, are you paying those on time? If you have collections or judgments, and you can have collections or judgments, it's kind of like McDonald's. If you have a little bit of it, it's okay. If you eat it every day, it might start hurting you a little bit. But you can have collections and judgments. If you're approved for our program, we just ask that you set up a reasonable repayment plan and that you pay off those judgments. You could even have a previous bankruptcy if that's what you're experiencing. we're just going to ask you some questions about it. And it might be that the Habitat Homeownership program is a fit or the Pathways program is a fit. We have options for you. As we're looking at your ability to repay, we're really looking at how does your debt compare to your income. So that's your debt to income ratio. So now let's talk about willingness to partner. So with willingness to partner, if you are approved for the Habitat Homeownership program or the Pathways program, there's a lot that you have to do, whether it's classes or sweat equity, so time on the construction site or the store. There's a lot that goes into it. And so as we're going through the application process, we want to make sure that you're willing to partner with us just as much as we're willing to partner with you.
So what happens during the application process and how long does it take? The application process is a few months long, and attending an applicant information meeting is part of the process. So, congratulations! You've already taken that first step. After watching this applicant information video and completing a quiz, you'll be ready to fill out the application. On the application, there's information that we want for you to fill out. If you need any help with that, just give us a call and we can help. We will ask for $15 per applicant and additional $15 for any co-applicant for an application fee. After you submit the application, if everything looks all right, we will ask for all of your supporting documents. Some of those items include pay stubs, bank statements, taxes, utility bills, and other things like that. If you need help with that, please give us a call. We can help you figure out how you can get it, where you can get it, and how you can print it off. Once we've reviewed all of the documents that you have submitted, we will invite you to a follow-up financial interview and an in-person or virtual home visit. At the financial interview, that's an opportunity for you to ask any additional questions that you might have about our program. It is also an opportunity for us to ask any questions about the materials that you've turned in. It can also be an opportunity to go over what the program could look like if you were approved. During the home visit, 2 committee members come out and visit your home. They'll get to know you and they evaluate or look at part of your housing need. In some cases, this may be done virtually, but we will be sure to let you know. After the financial interview and the home visit, the Habitat team meets with the Homeowner Selection Committee. The Homeowner Selection Committee looks at all of the families that are willing to partner. They look at all of the families that are able to pay. And it's a really hard decision, but they have to figure out of all of those families, who has the greatest need and which families we can take to the Board of Directors with Habitat. And then what the Board of Directors does with Habitat is they approve families for our program. If you have gone through this whole process, we will notify you with the final decision a couple of weeks after the Board of Directors meets.
All right, so please, please, please don't let an incomplete application disqualify you. If you need help at any point with the application process, just let us know. And if your phone number changes, if your address changes, if your email address changes, please just let us know, because we're going to call you and we're going to send you letters, and if they're going to the wrong place, we won't know that. So again, if you need any help, any assistance, just give us a call. So one of the questions that we get all the time is, how long is this journey and what do you do as you're going through this journey? So let me take you through it just a little bit. So there are 4 main phases in this journey, and it takes about 15 to 24 months to get through it for most families. So it starts at approval, you move to eligibility, then there's lot selection, and then you purchase your home, and woo, you're then a homeowner, and that starts a whole new journey for you, right? But what do you do? So as you're going through that whole journey, you're going to do sweat equity. So sweat equity can be a lot of things. It's time on the construction site, which is mandatory. It's working at the store or the office. It's coming to meetings like our home buyers meetings where we're getting you financially ready for purchasing a home. It's going to our community conversations meetings where you're sitting down with your neighbors and getting to know them. It's paying us a down payment of $2,000, part of it so that you can become eligible, and part of it by the time you purchase your home. It's also saving, right? Once you're a homeowner, saving is going to be so important. So even if it's saving $5 a month, we want for you to save a little bit of money as you go through this journey. And then for some folks, it's paying down debt. So if you came in with collections and judgments, again, that's okay. It's like McDonald's, you can have a little bit of it. But we do want for you to set up a repayment plan for collections and get on the journey or get on a pathway to pay off those judgments. So what are some things that could slow this journey down, right? Some of it is on us. Some of it is just nature or the city or the county, and some of it might be just the family. It's taking them a little bit longer. So for nature, right, if it's raining, if it's snowing, if it's too hot and the construction site has to close down, it's going to take a little bit longer for you to get through this journey. For the city or the county, if we don't have site plans or if they haven't approved them or something like that, it's going to take us a little bit longer to build that house. On our end, just construction-wise, sometimes it takes a little bit of time. On the family side of things, there's a couple of things that could slow it down. If you're not earning that sweat equity, so working on the construction site or coming to those classes, it's going to slow down your journey. If you increase your debt load, right? So if you go out and you buy a new car or you get a new credit card, it might slow down your journey. And then if there's job loss or a reduction in your income, it's going to slow down your journey. It doesn't mean that it's over. It just means that it might take a little bit longer. So what types of homes does Habitat build? So normally we build attached homes, so that could be 2 homes side by side, 3 homes side by side, or maybe 6 homes side by side. Normally they are in homeowners association communities, and we'll talk about that a bit later. Normally they're in Charlottesville or just outside of Charlottesville, and normally they're about 2 to 4 bedrooms. The homes come with appliances, so the washer, the dryer, the refrigerator, all of that stuff. They're normally visitable, so that means they have wider hallways and doorways, and they can be handicap accessible if that's something you need. You just gotta let us know. So how does the Habitat Affordable Mortgage work? That's a question we get all the time. So with Habitat, we provide our homeowners with a low interest loan. When we set that mortgage payment, the payment is not going to be more than 30% of your income, and that payment is going to include 4 main things. It's going to include the principal, so what you're paying back to Habitat, and then it's going to include 3 things that go into your escrow, your taxes, your homeowners association dues, and your insurance premium payment. Now, over time, those 3 escrows, so the taxes, the insurance, and the HOA dues, they will most likely go up. It's not because Habitat is changing your payment, it's because those 3 things have changed. And normally, the mortgage is between 25 to 35 years. So you're gonna pay it back over 25 to 35 years. So what is a homeowners association, and why should you care about it? So one, most of our homes are in homeowners associations. And with a homeowners association, it's kind of like city government or the county government at a very small scale. Everybody in your neighborhood can participate in the homeowners association. You all vote, you all make rules for your community, and you all pay a little bit each month to maintain your community. So whether it's snow removal or cutting grass or having a neighborhood party, everybody pays a little bit to do those things. So with the HOA, there are rules about what you can and can't do on the outside of your home, but please remember that with your HOA, you are part of the community. You can help set those rules and you can help enforce those rules, and really they're there to help protect the value of your home and the homes of your neighbors. So who's responsible for the maintenance and repairs? Once you're a homeowner, you're responsible for the maintenance and repairs, and that can be a shift for a lot of families where you've had a landlord and now you are the landlord.
Can Habitat homeowners sell their homes? The answer is yes, 100%, but there are a few things you should know. Habitat has the right of first refusal. What that means is you put your home on the market and someone makes you an offer. He says, I will give you $300,000 for that home. Habitat has the opportunity to match that offer. We're not offering you more or less. We just have the opportunity to match that offer so we can buy it back and sell it to another family in our program. We also have appreciation sharing. That is sharing in the increase in value of that home. We use a formula to calculate the appreciation sharing depending on how long you have owned your home. So let's say you bought that house and it was worth $200,000. Now you are selling it today and it's worth $300,000. It's gone up in value by $100,000. Habitat would get $50,000 to build more homes for more families, and you would get $50,000. Now, out of what you receive when you sell your home, there might be some things that you need to repay. So with the Habitat Homeownership program, there are grants and things that we try to find for our families to make this more affordable. With some of those grants, you may need to repay them when you sell your home. It depends on the grant. And like with other traditional mortgages, you may also still owe money if you haven't finished paying off your mortgage to Habitat. So you can always sell. There's just some things that go along with it.
Hi, I am going to talk to you about our Pathways to Housing program. This program was created for hardworking families that are unable to qualify for our homeownership program because their income is too low or their debts are too high. Families in the Pathways to Housing program receive different types of support. We have monthly group meetings to discuss topics that affect the whole group, as well as monthly individual meetings to focus on your specific goals. Pathways families also receive job support from the Network to Work program. We work with families to help them learn how to repair and improve their credit. And lastly, we offer a match savings program. What that means is we match every dollar you put in up to a certain amount. In order to graduate from the Pathways to Housing program, there are a few requirements that must be met. The first requirement is that you have been employed for 12 consecutive months or longer. However, it doesn't have to be at the same job. Your income has to be 25% of the area median income or higher. Also, your debt-to-income ratio has to be 43% or lower. Your Equifax credit score has to increase 50 points or be above 600 points. All judgments have to be paid in full and shown as satisfied. For collections and other debts, you'll have to establish a reasonable payment plan and make payments on the debts for 6 consecutive months. Once you graduate from the Pathways to Housing program, you may be eligible to go to the Board of Directors for approval to the Homeownership program.
There are some positives to purchasing a home. Some of those things include the ability to build wealth and leave it behind. The money that you're going to be spending each month is something that you're going to have for the long term. Some pros to purchasing a home through Habitat for Humanity is that we're working with an affordable mortgage. So your mortgage will be something that is based off of the income that you're making, not the value of the home itself. Another thing to take into consideration with Habitat for Humanity is that you don't have to have perfect credit. So we're not looking at your credit score to figure out if you qualify for our program or not. On the other hand, there are some cons that go along with purchasing a home as well. So one thing is that you don't have the same ability to just get up and move. So you have to think about, are you willing to make Charlottesville your home for the long term? If you're purchasing a home with Habitat for Humanity, we do have some different things that you have to take into consideration with your deed, such as the right of first refusal and appreciation sharing.
After you watch this entire video, please don't forget to take the quiz. You can find the link and the information about the quiz below, and that will complete this process.